Hey, what's up? It's Jeremy and Zach from Neighbourhood, and you're watching Fret
12. When we started this band, we were like, hey, we should do everything in black and white because I think that'll make us stand out, and we'll be like, it'll just kind of give us our own thing, like,
Yeah.
And we've just always stuck with it. Failure, another Space song.
Oh, shut your mouth.
What? It was.
Way before that. Like, you're saying what put a guitar in your hand?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it was when Greg Darian and Jesse Liga were in my room and they were playing Iron Man bass
Same song?
and guitar, and I was like, that's tight.
Yeah.
I need to do that.
First song was Iron Man. I sat down at the piano, actually, and I learned it. And then I learned it at the house of a guy that I would later get guitar lessons from. And I ear-trained Iron Man, and I just went, oh, shit. I should play guitar. Because that's really tight. That was
Haddon
my first,
Jackson?
Yeah.
That was the first.
That was like my first guitar because
That's
like I was like
first
super
guitar.
into like Metallica and stuff, like, and like they used to play Jacksons and stuff, especially when they were younger. This is a 78 Jazzmaster. It's got block inlays, which, you know, those are pretty hard to find in an older Jazzmasters. This is my baby. This is like the first. I'll say this is the first guitar I bought, and this guitar means a lot to me. It once belonged to a guy, the guitar player for a band called Melodrum. I don't know if you know them. Very cool band, but he used to play this guitar, and I used to envy him when I'd go to their shows. And when they stopped playing music, you know, he was selling his guitar.
At Christmas, I was with some family, and my cousin got a guitar. And for some reason, it was like the first time I've ever seen a guitar in my life, and I was like 12. And it just like was glowing, and I was like, yeah, I need that. So when I got back home from Oklahoma, my mom got me a guitar. This is a custom shopped Fender Stratocaster. I asked Fender, because we got like some free guitars from Fender, if they can just make me a custom shop Fender that they thought was tight. No specific stuff, but just make it tight. I liked it a lot, so I used it.
When we started, because I guess, like I said, like the Neighborhood for us, I think, was our first like real band, and it was kind of the first time where we were all like writing like songs, like where they actually like felt like real songs, and we were very new at it. So, you know, I guess just over the grand scheme of like the Neighborhood's career, it was just us, you know, getting better at writing songs, or just, you know, yeah, just getting better. We got in a studio, I think, like during Christmas time in 2011, and we did our EP, I'm Sorry, and we put it out in, I think, February of 2012.
Or one song in February.
Or yeah, Female Robbery. And then it's kind of after that, like, we started releasing songs, and literally overnight it was like record labels were calling us, and it was like, oh shit, like, it happened so fast.
You feel too lucky though, like the way like we released a song, and then a week later, we were flown out to Columbia and New York,
Like,
and we ended up signing with them. But just like the shit that we heard from them, like, quote, "It's the best solo I've heard in 30 years." Like, shut up, dude. Like the schmoozing thing, way real.
Yeah, it starts with your tuner, and it goes to my reverb and my compression. I don't know, I use Boss reverb and Boss compression, which I think sounds pretty sweet. Yeah, and I throw my compression after my reverb. I feel like a lot of people don't really do that, or put it directly after your reverb, but I think it makes a cool like sound. Yeah, and then I have a line 6 delay, which is pretty cool. Which I use it for like mostly like, there's like this one effect where it swells, like it's like a volume like swell thing. So you like, you know, do a chord and it's like.
And then pedal board 1. So then 1 reverb. 2 reverbs. Yeah. Then this pedal I think is really tight. It's called the Lo-Fi Junkie. It just makes everything like rolled off the top. Just the difference between the sound of where we came from and where we are now. I would say first idea landed almost every time on the EP, first album, and the mixtape was really thought out, but that was heavily on Jess. Like he did the whole thing. And then I think it was me and Zach like feeling like we wanted to show that we could write good songs. And we really tried to flex that muscle, I think, on this record.
We just
Second thoughts came, third thoughts came, and not just first thoughts.
Yeah, I just think I think Wiped Out is just kind of shows like how far we've come from our first EP to where we're at now as songwriters.
And that's where our focus was,
Yeah.
like writing good songs.
And then I have this Clone Theory, which is really sick. It's like a chorus, like vibrato pedal. It's electro harmonics, but I use it a lot for the vibrato setting, and it's really tight. It like has this like really cool like effect on it, and it makes like your like what you're playing like really like wobbly like sounding. It's just, like, yeah, it's super sick. And I use rad distortion, which is pretty cool.
Compression pedal, super basic. Not quite sold on this fuzz pedal, but I use it. This pedal is really cool. Slow engine is kind of like a swell delay, but just that's the only function that with a bunch of verbs sounds sick.
Somebody's like, oh, these 4 chords are, really special. Like, let's try to make a song out of these 4 chords. Or if it is, hey, I wrote this whole song on an acoustic, but like now let's translate it as like a band. Yeah, or if it's Jesse like having a beat on his computer and be like, hey, I like how that beat sounds. Let's try putting stuff over it. Like, just depends. I don't know, my DeVille, I don't know, usually I have a good amount of bass. I try not to crank my treble up too much because like my tone with like the reverb and delays and stuff, sometimes it can be too piercing. So I kind of like try to roll that off a little bit. Yeah, and then on my Bassman, it's really simple. It's only volume, treble, and bass. And I actually really like it like that because it's just so simple. There's not like reverb or like a presence knob, even though this has it. Or like this has like distortion or stuff like that. But I think this is cooler because it's just so simple. Like you have 3 knobs.
Feedback booster. And this one, if I ever want to get funky. This one is only used for one song, and when I get kooky. So I'll go like. Like that. Kooky.
Yeah.
Like on the record you'll hear it, it's like pretty eclectic, and that's because we recorded over the span of like a year in 3 different studios, different people like kind of like leading the way at different times and different songs, and it was like really kind of all over the board. So that's that, baby.
R.I.P. to my youth.